So let's compare the nervous system with the endocrine system. So they both have signal types. So what is the signal type for the nervous system? Well, if we remember, the nervous system has an electrical type of signal type and a chemical type of signal. So it has an action potential, and that's electrical. It's working with voltage-gated channels that open sodium channels, and that starts the action potential. There's also the neurotransmitter, and that's chemical. So at the synapse, then the presynaptic neuron releases the neurotransmitter, which goes over to the postsynaptic neuron, carrying the message with it. Okay? So what about the endocrine system? So the endocrine system, its signal type is chemical. And its chemical is called a hormone. So it releases a hormone, and that will bind to receptors on certain cells and cause an effect that way from that. All right, so what about the targets? What is the target for the nervous system? So meaning what types of targets? Like a nervous system, if you think of the nervous system, you're thinking of a neuron that is going to innervate something. Okay, so it's pretty specific. So specific. Okay, so in the nervous system, you have an axon terminal, and it's going to go to a specific thing. To a specific target. So like a muscle cell. Okay, the neuron at the neuromuscular junction, the neuron is going to a muscle, and it's going to innervate that particular muscle cell. Okay, so pretty specific. So what about the endocrine system? So the endocrine system really is more general. So it's general in the idea that the effects will occur at any cell that has a receptor. So affects any cell that has a receptor for that hormone. Okay? So what about speed? So speed of transmission. I know this doesn't look all that great, but okay. So speed of transmission. What about the nervous system? How fast is the nervous system? Nervous system, pretty fast. I mean, it's kind of really fast, okay? It goes at about 120 meters per second. I mean, it's lightning fast. Okay. You know, the neurons that go to big muscle cells are going to be highly myelinated, and those impulses are going to travel very, very, very fast. So what about in the endocrine system? I think you can probably guess it's kind of slow. Okay. It takes about a full minute for blood to completely circulate through the body. So since hormones are being carried by the blood, it takes a little bit for it to get to the different cells. Now, 1 minute doesn't seem very long. It's not like a long time, but in comparison to the nervous system, it's pretty slow. So with that, what about the speed of the effect? So in the nervous system, the effect speed is going to be pretty fast and immediate. So you get a impulse going down a neuron to a skeletal muscle. The skeletal muscle's going to contract. Boom, done. Okay, fast and it's immediate. The endocrine system's going to be slow again. We're talking about a chemical, and that chemical has to somehow either get into the cell or somehow alert the cell that it's going to be doing this thing, whatever it does. And that takes a bit of time. Okay, so in the nervous system, those effects are going to be fast, immediate, and kind of not very long lasting. They're just going to happen like a flex of a muscle. Endocrine system's going to be slow and more long lasting. Okay, so that goes along with, and I'll go ahead and write that out, with effect duration. So again, that goes along with the fact that it's fast and slow in the nervous system. Again, it's going to be immediate, and the effects are going to be brief. In the endocrine system, slow, they're going to get there slow, and the effects are going to be longer lasting. Okay. In the nervous system, how do we increase the intensity of the effect? Well, we're talking about basically action potentials, so you just send more action potentials. Okay, so you increase the number of action potentials. How about the endocrine system? To increase the intensity, you gotta send more hormone in to increase that intensity. So the endocrine and nervous system, they are both integrators. They're both integrative systems, communicating systems. So they're both integrators. Okay, but they work, the way that they do what they do is just a little bit different. They do the same things, they just do them differently. Okay, so the next video we're going to talk about the pathways and how those work and how they compare to the nervous system.